Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. If you want to follow along, join me as we start the second half of the book of Genesis. Halfway through now, getting in chapter 26. If you will, like, share, comment on the post, and then join me if you're able in chapter 26, beginning in verse number 1. Now there was a famine in the land besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar, to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, and the Lord appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and to your offspring I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abraham your father. I will multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven, and I will give to your offspring all these lands. And in your offspring all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. As I said, we're entering now the second half of the book of Genesis, and as we start this chapter, this is an important chapter. It's a unique chapter. It is a surprising chapter because as we look at the story of certainly one of the main characters in Scripture, Isaac, this is actually the only chapter where we really see that Isaac himself is the main character. Curiously, the way Isaac's life is described and relayed to us in Scripture is really bouncing from trouble to trouble. We see the trials, the tests, the tribulations that Isaac dealt with in his life. And there's a lot that you and I can learn from how Isaac handled and dealt with the various trials, the various circumstances that came up in his life, and how he dealt with these things. And here he has viewed a famine. He's lost, we really don't know how much, I guess, his probably much, if not all, of his farm, his business, his animals, his crops, which would have put him on, I guess, the edge of bankruptcy. And again, it's a very severe famine. And so he decides that the only thing left to do is stay in the promised land and or go south towards Egypt, where evidently there was no famine affecting that land. And God tells him, he stops him and tells him not to go to Egypt. But he does leave the promised land. He takes and he moves what animals he has left and decides to move toward Egypt. And on the way, he stops in a place called Gerar, which was the capital of the Philistines, and seeks help from Abimelech, who would have been the ruler, the king of that area. And Abimelech decides to help him. Evidently, it suited Abimelech. Maybe, I don't know, things work like they do today. Maybe Abimelech was thinking, we'll let Isaac sit up so we can tax him. I don't know. So he's going to grant him permission to stay. And God again intervenes. He appears to Isaac and tells him, you don't go to Egypt. But you go to the land where I will show you. And that land then is Canaan. Egypt in Scripture is always a symbol. It's always a sign, a type of the world. And Canaan is always the promised land, a symbol, a type of living in God's will. And so we're going to delve further into this story as we move on. And As Yogi Berra once said, it's deja vu all over again as Isaac makes some of the same mistakes that his father made. But just simply put, the lesson that we see here today beginning to unfold is always trust the promises of God. Always listen to Him. Better to be in the land of famine in the will of God than to be in the land of green grass out of the will of God. That is the lesson we're going to learn in the story of Isaac. Always, I said better, as a preacher friend of mine once said, I'd rather be in the worst, deepest, darkest jungles of the world in the will of God than in the finest hospital in the land out of the will of God. That's what Isaac is about to learn. Stick with me, and we'll see this story unfold. Have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.